side and not able to do anymore. So there's just that moment of disconnect where you sort of got to realize that the world is sort of returned to, normalized underwriting, vacancy and credit losses, and TI allowances on underwriting parameters and all of that stuff. So retail is clearly going to be the one that's going to suffer in the short term the most, and everyone's afraid of what's going to happen on the consumer side. Deals that can be done, it's small. I mean, anything with a medical bend, we've done a lot of that as well. There's still a very good story, particularly in sort of local community markets, because the healthcare industry generally is a good one. In sub 20 million, you can get a deal done. It's not impossible, and obviously, if you have a piece of debt that's assumable and has some term to it, so that the person that's assuming it feels comfortable, they could never replicate that cost of capital that you can provide to them through the assumption process. As long as you can get them approved, which is a challenge in and of itself right now, you can get deals like that done. So that's the extent of it.
Andy, you made a reference to cap rates and disconnects. Working the last few years, I've had the opportunity to work both prime Manhattan areas, tertiary areas, lower Westchester, some of the better locations there. I know when I was evaluating properties in Manhattan, for example, I just find where the break even was and then add 10 or 20% to that, and then just see what happens. Whereas in some of the tertiary areas, it used to be where they were the havens for, let's say, double-digit returns. In the spirit of today's discussion about getting a deal done, where do you see value should be? And if you want to focus specifically in the Westchester or Fairfield regions.
The biggest problem, and that's is a conundrum of where should it be. Everyone asks me, what is the cap rate? And it's really impossible to peg it right now because we don't have enough data points to really establish where that is. We had a global call at Cushman and Wakefield about 2 weeks ago because obviously the problems we have in Westchester, Fairfield, and the country are being felt globally. And the only one that had enough data points to feel comfortable as to where the shift had come was our London office, which felt that cap rates had finally settled at 200 basis points above where they were in the heyday. So the bottom line here is we don't have enough